catch me lacking. Bank account for my son, he won't have to struggle. You can see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet, I'm ready to rumble. Felt like I ain't...
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is preseason football on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Seattle Seahawks. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, it is a sound like no other when they raise that 12th man flag here in Seattle. We just heard it, and that means it's time for football at CenturyLink Field. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Denver Broncos. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, an early season tilt, and when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Here we go in a rematch of Super Bowl 48. The Seahawks and Broncos are underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And when I think of Russell Wilson, I think not just of the big plays that he's made, and those are considerable, but when they were made. 4th and 26 in a Big Ten championship game against Michigan State when he was with Wisconsin. A big completion helped lead his team to a victory. A big 4th down throw for a touchdown in an NFC championship game against the San Francisco 49ers. When the chips are down, this guy plays at a big level.
Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. The offensive starters now for the Broncos.
A second-year receiver at SMU, Cortland Sutton, had a pretty nice rookie season, averaging nearly 17 yards per catch, but there's still plenty more for him to work on. Not only should he be able to be a big-time red zone threat, they want to be a little more elusive in the open field.
On second down, it's Williams, and he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there.
And he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower post-game. Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. It's Williams on the catch. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Following the penalty, it's Williams. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. On the tackle that time, Shelby Harris. And a look at Seattle's defense.
One of the best young safeties in the NFL, Jamal Adams. Keep an eye out for him because no one is safe when he's on the field, including mascots. Just ask Pat the Patriot. Jamal Adams was also the 2019 Pro Bowl Defensive MVP.
Now on 2nd and 16. Wilson gets it to Gordon. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Play action. It's Wilson. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
Now it's Lockett. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Get ready.
On 1st and 10, here's Locke. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31.
That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Throwing on 1st down is Locke. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle. This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Locke throwing on 2nd down. This is the tight end, Fant. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. Here's Locke. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he will have the 1st down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they look at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. That's on the big guard, Gabe Jackson. The holding penalty, that puts them in an unenviable spot here as they try again on 3rd and goal. Locked now on 3rd and goal. His throw caught. What about the foul? And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem. Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early, give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with prior to the game. They always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it? It does. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it? It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon. To try again after the sack. Wilson, man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing is Wilson. He completes this to Sutton. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there of 20 yards. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 41. Play action. Now Wilson. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play. Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Here's Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Well, they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. They'll try and run. This is Williams. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. He was a 3rd-round pick, not rounds 1 or 2, but this franchise, they think he can be something with time. There were a few teams that thought he would go in the 1st round, late in the 1st round. He ends up sliding to the 3rd, so a lot of teams think now maybe this group got a steal. They've got a chance to have a really good player here if he can develop. They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
They'll run it with Williams. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. So on fourth down, on comes Brandon McManus and the field goal unit for the Broncos. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And McManus able to put it through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber. Get it.
Lock now on first down. This one into the hands of Metcalf. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. We're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be down close to the first down marker as he gets this to the Broncos 33.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
On 2nd down now, it's Williams. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Now this throw caught left side. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And this is incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Ripping to pass. This goes to the tight end, Eric Saubert. The 20. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 47 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue...
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Taking it in from a yard out as his guys are back within a single score. Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
We got this.
Geno Smith getting ready to go again here on offense. I'm sure he wanted to have a huge game, wants to have a huge game as the quarterback, but really on the ground, they've been very, very hard to stop. Maybe you just keep going to that well.
I think so, and isn't it funny how the definition of balance changes for us from game to game? Sometimes it's 50-50, run it, throw it. Sometimes it's just being a balanced running team in terms of who's carrying the football.
More than one guy.
Right, multiple guys out there, and now your guy back there has to throw it. Doesn't have to worry about it quite as much.
And they've got the lead here in the second quarter. Now it's the backup Smith. And this one's incomplete. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield, and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
Now Smith. And he comes back with one complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18. Now Geno on first down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Rippon. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Here's Rippon. That's complete to the tight end, Saubert. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, That ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. On 2nd and 10, it's Rippon. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Gordon loses the football. It's loose. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Throwing on 2nd down now, Rippon. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now it's Freeman. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. 3rd and long. To throw it is Rippon. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. So on now is Brandon McManus. He has hit from as far away as 57, but that was in Denver. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt.
Let's go. Do it.
Well, I was watching him in warm-ups, and he hit a 62-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over this one a little bit inside of that, but not enough leg.
And the difference is what?
Well, your live conditions, right?
Live conditions, game conditions are a whole lot different than practice, where you just pop it up there, no rush, no pressure. I think maybe that takes a couple yards away from you when you have to do it when it's real.
A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. He's got a man. It's Williams. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They get 17 on that one, move the chains, first down Seahawks. From the red zone now, Smith. He'll find Ballore out of the backfield. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Let's go, D. Tighten up. Let's go.
Throwing again is Smith. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Will Dissly there to make the grab. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
On second down. Boom. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down. Here's Sam Martin now. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Ronald Darby that time, the one who got a hand in and knocked it free.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
That's complete to Dissly, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They get 17 on that one, move the chains, first down Seahawks. Again, Smith. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Smith. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is third down. He's got his man. It's Williams. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. first and 10. Smith. Oh, incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it there. And it'll be second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
And he's caught at the 7. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Now the Seahawks forced to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal.
Slot. Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island.
Smith throwing again. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. From a yard out. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
Now Myers for the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense trots back onto the field, and we take an in-depth look at Royce Freeman. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we can draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Rippin. He'll find Royce Freeman, the running back. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. This quarterback now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. He'll get this into the hands of Travis Fulgham. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Let's go.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
And he's taken down inside the 30. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
In our game, most of the starters have made their cameo and departed, but plenty of youngsters out there with a lot to gain or lose as we get you right back out to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone. Back for quarter number 3. Probably not likely to see many starters in the second half as we get back at it underway in this preseason opener. This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now a handoff looking right. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a third down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
Has a pretty good throw on the curl route there. Third down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield and they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Let's go defense. Let's go defense.
On 2nd and 9, Smith looking left side, and it's complete. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 26. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On 2nd and 7, Smith. Short throw to Disley. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
Here's Smith. And that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there was a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Now Rippon on 1st and 10. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The sack there by Rasheem Green.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Freeman. Only 2 yards on the pickup there, and now they're looking at a long 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Geno Smith getting ready to go again here on offense. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. Throwing on 2nd down. Smith throwing right, and that's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. You think back to 2018, many people thought it would be Royce Freeman taking over as the lead back in Denver. Spent a 3rd-round pick on him, but it was Phillip Lindsay who would be in the catbird seat as the #1 running back. But still for Freeman, not a bad rookie campaign, 521 yards and 5 touchdowns as the backup. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a 1st down. Looking to throw on 1st down is Rippon, and that is incomplete here.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 40. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10, right at the 40. On the carry, it's Boone. Breaks free again. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
On 2nd and a couple, Rippon. He's got Freeman here. It's complete.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
Gets it off to Freeman. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 15-yard line. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execute to find a hole, make the catch. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Rippon to pass. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through. I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
So his third field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these threes into sixes.
And sevens, and probably even eights. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear. They want to close this gap.
Geno Smith getting ready to go again here on offense. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they've made some good adjustments, though. He's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was locked in, right? Rocking and rolling. They came out, made their adjustments, got their confidence back. Now they're causing him all sorts of trouble.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Geno now to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28, and he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more. Preseason football on EA Sports. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Freeman again. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Now rip it. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Uchenna and Wosu got the sack there.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
The kick by McManus is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle. Still got to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away? Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Operating from the gun, Eason, and he rifles one incomplete. Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short. Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling. Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock,
really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd and 10, it's Rippon. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 18 big yards on that one and a Denver first. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Here's Rippon. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
They will throw on 3rd down with Rippon. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Eason going down the middle, and it's complete. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Rip it on 1st and 10. That's complete to the tight end, Sauber. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
Rippon trying to pick it up through the air. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And he's not going to get there. Might have even lost a yard. Royce Freeman is going to be stopped short. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. That one good for 33 and a 1st. You know, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Let's go. 30 base.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Ready.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. You don't see that a ton, do you? With the cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
So with that, you figure now this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
And Denver getting set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw it is Rippon. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now on fourth down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
On the set.
53's mine. Check. 53's mine. I'm coming.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to work his way down to the 16. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the taunts. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard, you're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal, that's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.